Mexican cartels are criminal organizations based in Mexico that are involved in drug trafficking, human trafficking, extortion, money laundering, and other illegal activities. These organizations are highly sophisticated, and their operations extend beyond the borders of Mexico, with activities in the United States and other countries. The most well-known Mexican cartel is likely the Sinaloa cartel, which was once led by the notorious drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. The Sinaloa cartel is responsible for a significant portion of the drugs that enter the United States, including cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine. Other prominent Mexican cartels include the Gulf Cartel, the Zetas, and the Juarez Cartel. These organizations are known for their use of violence and intimidation to control their territories and protect their criminal activities. Mexican cartels have had a significant impact on Mexican society, with high levels of violence and corruption, and have also had an impact on the United States, particularly in terms of drug trafficking. The U.S. government has been working to combat the activities of these cartels through law enforcement efforts and international cooperation, but the issue remains a significant challenge. The Sinaloa cartel is one of the most powerful and notorious drug trafficking organizations in Mexico. The cartel was founded in the late 1980s in the state of Sinaloa by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman and other drug traffickers. The cartel quickly became known for its sophisticated smuggling operations and violent tactics. El Chapo rose to become the leader of the Sinaloa cartel, and under his leadership, the cartel grew in power and influence, expanding its operations beyond Mexico to other parts of the world. El Chapo was arrested multiple times over the years, but he famously escaped from prison on 2 occasions, the first time in 2001 and the second time in 2015. He was finally captured for the last time in 2016 and extradited to the United States, where he was convicted of drug trafficking charges and sentenced to life in prison. After El Chapo's arrest, the Sinaloa cartel continued to operate under the leadership of Ismael El Mayo Zambada and other high-ranking members. The cartel has been known for its violent tactics, including kidnappings, murders, and acts of terrorism. Despite efforts by the Mexican government and international law enforcement agencies to combat the Sinaloa cartel and other drug trafficking organizations, they continue to operate and profit from the illicit drug trade. The Sinaloa cartel, in particular, remains a significant player in the global drug trade, responsible for smuggling large quantities of drugs into the United States and other countries. The Gulf Cartel is a Mexican drug trafficking organization that operates primarily in the northeastern part of Mexico, particularly in the states of Tamaulipas and Nuevo León. The cartel was founded in the 1930s and began as a bootlegging operation that smuggled alcohol from the United States into Mexico during Prohibition. Over the years, the Gulf Cartel expanded its operations to include drug trafficking, money laundering, and other illegal activities. The cartel has been involved in violent conflicts with other drug trafficking organizations, including the Zetas, a former armed wing of the Gulf Cartel that later split off to form its own organization. The Gulf Cartel has been known for its violent tactics, including kidnappings, murders, and other acts of violence against rival cartels, Mexican law enforcement, and civilians. The cartel has also been involved in human trafficking and other illegal activities, contributing to the ongoing violence and instability in the region. In recent years, the Gulf Cartel has faced increasing pressure from the Mexican government and other law enforcement agencies, as well as from rival cartels. As a result, the cartel has reportedly experienced internal divisions and leadership struggles, leading to a weakening of its power and influence. However, it remains a significant player in the drug trafficking world and continues to be a major source of violence and instability in the region. The Zetas is a Mexican drug cartel that originated as the armed wing of the Gulf Cartel in the early 2000s. The group was originally formed by deserters from the Mexican military who were hired by the Gulf Cartel as enforcers and hitmen. The Zetas quickly gained a reputation for their extreme violence and brutality, and they soon began to operate independently of the Gulf Cartel, engaging in drug trafficking, extortion, kidnapping, and other illegal activities. The group also expanded its operations beyond Mexico, operating in other parts of Latin America, as well as in the United States and Europe. The Zetas are known for their use of terror tactics, including beheadings, mass killings, and bombings, as a means of maintaining control over their territories and intimidating their rivals. They have been responsible for some of the most brutal and high-profile acts of violence in Mexico's ongoing drug war. The group has undergone significant changes over the years, with several key leaders being arrested or killed in military and law enforcement operations. In recent years, the Zetas have reportedly been weakened by internal divisions and infighting, as well as by the efforts of the Mexican government and other law enforcement agencies to combat their activities. Despite these setbacks, the Zetas remain a significant threat to the security and stability of Mexico and other parts of the world, and they continue to be involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and other criminal activities. The Juarez Cartel, also known as the Vicente Carrillo Fuentes Organization, VCFO, is a Mexican drug cartel based in Ciudad Juarez, a city located in the state of Chihuahua, Mexico. The cartel was founded in the 1980s by Rafael Aguilar Guajardo, but it rose to prominence under the leadership of Amado Carrillo Fuentes, who became known as the Lord of the Skies, for his use of planes to smuggle drugs across the U.S.-Mexico border. After Amado Carrillo Fuentes' death in 1997, the leadership of the Juarez cartel passed to his brother, Vicente Carrillo Fuentes. Under Vicente's leadership, the Juarez cartel became one of the most powerful drug trafficking organizations in Mexico, with operations extending beyond drug trafficking to include money laundering, extortion, and other criminal activities. The Juarez cartel has been known for its violent tactics, including kidnappings, murders, and other acts of violence against rival cartels, Mexican law enforcement, and civilians. The cartel has been involved in a number of high-profile conflicts with other drug trafficking organizations, including the Sinaloa cartel and the Zetas. In recent years, the Juarez cartel has reportedly been weakened by internal divisions and leadership struggles, as well as by the efforts of the Mexican government and other law enforcement agencies to combat their activities. Despite these setbacks, the cartel remains a significant player in the drug trafficking world, and it continues to be involved in drug trafficking and other illegal activities, contributing to the ongoing violence and instability in the region. The exact number of victims caused by Mexican drug cartels is difficult to determine, as many of their activities are carried out in secret and the cartels often go to great lengths to hide their involvement in violent crimes. However, it is widely acknowledged that drug cartels in Mexico have caused a significant number of deaths and other forms of harm over the years. According to estimates from the Mexican government, more than 300,000 people have been killed in Mexico's ongoing drug war since it began in 2006. The vast majority of these deaths are believed to be linked to drug cartel activities, including violent conflicts between rival cartels, attacks on Mexican law enforcement and military personnel, and the killing of innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. In addition to the direct victims of violence, the drug cartels in Mexico have also caused significant harm to communities and society as a whole. The cartels have been responsible for widespread corruption, the erosion of public trust in government and law enforcement institutions, and the perpetuation of poverty and inequality in many parts of the country. Overall, the impact of Mexican drug cartels on Mexican society has been devastating, with many communities experiencing the effects of violence and instability on a daily basis. The toll of this ongoing conflict underscores the urgent need for effective solutions to address the root causes of drug trafficking and violence in the region.